Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome to this video where I'm just going to be recapping some of the stuff at Worlds, basically the top 8 and the incident that happened there. Tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, as long as nothing happens, I'll have the normal TCG news. That'll go over some other stuff that happened at Worlds, as well as your normal Force of Will stuff, some alternate souls, and other card game news as well. But yeah, so for today, Worlds 2019 happened this past weekend, which is a lot of interesting stuff going on there. If you guys are curious on any of the matches or anything like that, go check out on Ruler School, where he streamed the event thanks to Vite Roman, and he has all of the rounds up there on his channel, so you guys can go check out to see how everything did. My cat will be here periodically. So at the event itself, the rulers that showed up there is 20 Hanzo. There's Adam and Brunhild. I'm not sure on the quantities of that. Just one of them was 15 or somewhere around there. If one of you know the exact quantity of both of those, let me know below. There's 4 Isis, 3 Arthur, 2 Fuji, and 2 Rhea. Then 1 Keurig, 1 Lucifer, and 1 Shayla. And there's some stuff missing from that breakdown. At least there's a Loki and an IU missing from that breakdown, so I'm not quite sure what's missing from this breakdown. I think Oscar messed up when he sent this, but I'll try and update the comments with the full breakdown, what it's supposed to be. The top 8 ended up being first place ended up going to Ryan Miles with his green-white Hanzo deck. And then the rest of the top 8, I'm not sure if this is in order or not, but it's Alejandro with a green-white Brunhild, Steven Holsheiser with a 5-color Hanzo, Lo Quen Wen with a green-white Brunhild, Ronan Morris with a green-white Adam, Jose Antana with a green-white Hanzo, Federico Zoppini with a perfect Loki deck, and Enrique Rio with a IU deck. So IU was able to squeak by one last time before rotation, which is nice to see. We had the perfect Loki deck, a lot, as you can tell from what I just said, a lot of green-white. In fact, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the top 8 were green-white variants, 2 of which were Hanzo. So that's kind of interesting to see. I'm sure we'll see a lot of that go away, especially with rotation hitting and in combination with the new set having no green in it. But that's sort of the quick breakdown of Worlds, of the details we have. I'll try to remember to link in the description. The top 8 lists were posted as well. If you guys are curious what the lists were, I'll put that in the description so you guys can check it out over on the Facebook Global group. Right, it's a kitty, so he's a little excited, aren't you, buddy? So there was an event that happened at Worlds that I want to go over real quick and give you guys some background as well. So one of the top 8 was Federico Zoppini, and if the name sounds familiar, it's because there has been incidents before with him going into this. It was kind of funny because Oscar was the one watching the stream, and because I wasn't able to, and he said, "Oh, we're going into the streaming of this next match as Zoppini's in it, Federico's in it," and he's a known cheater, so we'll see how this goes. And then, like, I don't know how much longer later, like 20 minutes later, he's like, "Oh yeah, on stream, this stuff was caught." So before I get into what was caught on Worlds, just to give some background context, and thanks to an anonymous person who pointed this out for me, but I'll have the video playing over me. So you guys can see, but the first thing I'll show is in 2017, during the World's Grand Prix there, during the finals, you can see right here, he had a sacrifice Demonic Dead along with a Fox Spirit, but does not sacrifice the Killing Stone in order to bring out the Manticore. And if you guys have ever played a Fox deck, this is all like stuff you do automatically. And it's something you would notice as soon as you go back into the deck to shuffle the Killing Stone back in, which is what he'll do after bringing out Manticore. So he doesn't sacrifice Killing Stone and then goes into his graveyard and grabs a separate Killing Stone that obviously was not put in there at that time, and he puts it on top of his deck. And now I'll slow it down here. If you notice the way that he shuffles, each time he shuffles the deck, he keeps the Killing Stone on top of the deck the way he shuffles it. And then as soon as he sets the deck down, he does not verbally or any way visually, as you can see here, offer the opponent to cut it or anything. He instantly grabs the top card of the deck, and what do you know? It's a killing stone. So that was the one pretty obvious instance. There was another small thing that was pointed out. I think this was also in 2017 on stream, where he played this Tama without paying for it, and then when it goes to his opponent's turn, he at least before his opponent played any spells, he was potentially able to sack both Tamas to do damage, in addition to drawing the card and stuff off of Tama, but he didn't pay any will, and leaving that will open for other plays to do. So just for that background, going into this match, when he's doing the perfect Loki deck, as I'd mentioned earlier. And so what happened is a couple things. When it was realized, I think this all happened sort of at once. At this point in the stream, you can see here, he went to go sideboard in between games. And you can see he goes and grabs 2 cards from his sideboard and 2 cards from his main deck, as if he's going to side out, and then at the last minute he just puts all the cards in his deck all at once. So that could be chalked up to maybe a mistake, but as we go along you might see that might not be, because later on in the game, near the end, he does perfect Loki on the Judgment and plays Neo Ragnarok to bring out all of the giants. But instead of playing out the giants, he simply just holds out his side deck and says, and the opponent concedes, or he presents his side deck without actually showing it, and the opponent concedes, and they start to scoop up. And you notice when he goes to scoop up, Federico at least, he does something that you never see anyone do, which is he takes his field cards and is about to put them into his side deck as well as his main deck and stuff like that, which is, if you've ever played any game, that's just something you don't do. You don't mix your side deck with your main deck. And you can see the judge has to actually reach in and instantly grab that side deck before he's able to mix any cards in, and verifies that he actually didn't even have the red giant in his side deck in order to win. So he actually didn't even have a win condition. And that's when they realize also that there's extra deck cards inside of his deck and all that stuff. So a combination of him not presenting his sideboard and just hoping that the opponent concedes, in combination with him scooping his field right into his side deck and mixing it all together as quickly as possible before the judge had grabbed it, makes me think that the beginning part where he had grabbed 2 cards and then put them onto his deck was in fact intentional, combined with the previous instances. So that was something that I felt was important to point out, especially since he made top 8 and this was on stream, and it was mentioned that there was an Italian GP or some type of larger GP that was streamed in which he did top the event, but curiously was able to go through the entire event without ever appearing on stream, just as a side note. But yeah, so I think it's important to point this out so people are aware when they go to play, especially at big events at Worlds like this. This should be something that's more looked after. He did get a game loss for that, I believe, but I guess you can't really show intent, but I don't know how the rules work, but it feels weird that you can sideboard extra cards, not present your deck, and expect a win condition, and then instantly try and shuffle that up and only get one single game loss out of it and still be able to keep the top 8. But maybe that's just me. I don't know how these high-end events work and all that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of all that. That's sort of the main things I want to cover real quick for today that I felt would serve better separate from the news, so you guys don't have to cycle through the news tomorrow just to find out some Worlds info. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.